Hello and welcome to some more thoughts from the Bible from me. My name is Becky. It's great to see you here today. Now, I had a really tough night a few days ago. I went to bed like normal, tossed and turned a little bit, eventually found that nice comfortable groove in the pillow and fell asleep. But it was 1 a.m. according to my watch when I woke up with just this stabbing pain in my neck, running down through my neck. It's not the first time that it's happened. It's every so often I get like a tight neck, but it was the first time that it had been this bad in like years and years and years. I couldn't remember the last time it was quite so painful. It was bad enough that every time I rolled over, I let out kind of an involuntary groan. So I lay there trying hard not to move so I wouldn't wake up my husband, Dave. And I started to pray desperately with tears of pain in my eyes. I asked God to take that pain away, to let me sleep, to ease it in some way. In the last few months, I felt like my relationship with God has been in a really good place. And I genuinely believed that time in the early hours of the morning that he was going to heal this. He was going to take that pain away. I knew that he could do it, and I believed that he could do it. I started to think about that passage that talks about a man badgering his neighbor for a loaf of bread, and in the end he receives what he's after, not because of friendship, but because of his annoying persistence in asking. And so I prayed persistently. I begged and I pleaded and I assumed the God-given authority that I have as a Christian and commanded the pain to leave my body and the muscles to unknot. My silent prayers were fervent. And as I levered myself into a new position, the pain was just as bad as it had always been. Finally, I gave up trying to be quiet, and I just let out a groan of agony, and it woke Dave up, who very kindly went into the bathroom and found some painkillers to help, and I was able to sleep for a couple more hours. But then I just gave up and got up, retreated to the lounge, sat up and watched old episodes of Star Trek. The whole experience made me think of a song that I'd heard recently by a group called Mercy Me. The title of the song is Even If. And one of the lines goes like this. It says, "I know the sorrow and I know the hurt would all go away if you'd just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone." The premise of the song is based on the account that we find in Daniel chapter 3, where three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, are facing this fiery furnace. And they're told that unless they bow down to a statue that the king Nebuchadnezzar had made, that they would be thrown into that furnace and killed. Their reply, I think, is one of the most faith-filled statements that we find in the entire Bible. This is what it says. "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you have set up." Even if he does not, even if you don't, God. What a powerful, powerful statement that is. I think so often our prayers go something like, "Please deliver me from this situation, God." Oh, he hasn't instantly done anything. Maybe he doesn't really care about me that much, or maybe he's a little bit too busy right now and he didn't hear my prayer. Maybe I've done something wrong today and so he's not listening to me, or maybe I don't really have enough faith for that answer to prayer. I don't know. I think it's a lot harder to pray, please deliver me from this situation, God. I absolutely 100% believe that you can, that you have the power, the authority to heal me, to do whatever it is I'm praying for. But even if you don't, my trust and my hope is in you. Now, this isn't me saying that God can't or won't do the miraculous for us. I absolutely believe that he can and that he will. But his plans are greater and higher than ours. They are beyond our understanding. And sometimes we might need to be in a situation that seems bad on the surface for a while. Could God have healed the pain in my neck that night? Absolutely. I 100% believe that. But as I sat awake at 4 a.m. in the lounge in our house, trying not to move too much, I realized that there could be some deeper root cause of this pain right here. And maybe there were some steps that I could take to help that. I realized that I've been feeling really, really stressed lately, and that probably wasn't helping the tension in my muscles. I spent some time doing some research on the internet, and I found some exercises, some stretches that would help to strengthen the neck to stop it from happening again. Would I have put those things in place if I had a sudden miraculous healing that night? I very, very much doubt it. I probably would have just gone back to sleep and, barely remembered the whole thing in the morning. I wish, I truly, truly wish that I understood why sometimes it feels like God just doesn't come through when we're praying earnestly and fervently for something. I wish I understood why there are people who aren't healed. I wish I understood why there are people who have prayed for years, for decades, for a husband or a wife, for a job, for an opportunity, and those things just never seem to pass. I don't understand. And I know those situations can be so ridiculously painful, and they can lead us to question everything that we believe about who God is. I don't know. I don't always understand. But what I do know is that I am going to put my trust in God, whatever happens, even if you don't. My hope is you alone. Just because you don't understand does not mean that God has abandoned you, or that he isn't working behind the scenes for you right now in a way that you might not understand. I encourage you to put your trust in him and in his goodness, because he has promised never to leave us and never to forsake us. And though we might not understand everything right now, whether he does or doesn't answer prayer, he is still good. He is still faithful. He is still God. Thank you so much for watching with me today. Until next time.